जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंदा जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा
जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा।
जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंदा
जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंदा।
जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा
जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा।
जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंदा
जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंदा।
जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा
जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा।
श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय। श्रील
जय
कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी की जय। श्रील
जय
प्रभुपाद की जय। समवेत
जय
गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। ओम
जय
अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to today's Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita reading. We are reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, Chapter 1, the later pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is the synopsis. So we completed the synopsis of the Madhya Lila. So Shesha Lila has two parts, Madhya Lila and Antya Lila. So Madhya Lila consists of the 6 years of Mahaprabhu's travels. So Mahaprabhu, after going to Vrindavan, he came back to Jagannath Puri. So that completes the Madhya Lila, 6 years of travel. Now, the remaining 18 years of Mahaprabhu's Lila, uh, that it constitutes the Antya Lila. So what did we see in Antya Lila yesterday? What are the various pastimes? We saw the pastime of Rupa Goswami's visit to Jagannath Puri. So in Madhya Lila we saw Mahaprabhu's meeting of Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami in Ramkeli. Then again Mahaprabhu's meeting of Rupa Goswami in Prayag, Allahabad. Then Mahaprabhu's meeting of Sanatan Goswami in Varanasi. So now in Antya Lila again we see that Rupa Goswami visits Mahaprabhu in Puri and then Mahaprabhu empowers him. Then also we saw Haridas Thakur. So many devotees like Gadadhar Pandit, Vakreshwar Pandit, um, Shankar Pandit, Damodar Pandit. So there are some devotees who were constantly living with Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri, and some devotees were visiting every year, and they would spend 4 months with Mahaprabhu in Puri during the Chaturmas. Like Advaita Acharya would visit, Srivas Thakur would visit, like that. But uh, some devotees were always constantly living in Jagannath Puri with Mahaprabhu during those last 18 years. So that, and then while they were living there, Mahaprabhu is living there. Then what pastimes Mahaprabhu performed there? So that constitutes the Antya Lila. So some of the pastimes that were mentioned or that will be described by Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami are the passing away of Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur was also living in Puri constantly with Mahaprabhu. And then how Mahaprabhu personally arranged for the festival. So tomorrow we are celebrating the festival of Srila Prabhupada's disappearance day festival. So For a Vaishnava, when a Vaishnava disappears, that is also a festival, which is difficult to comprehend because we feel bereaved from the association of that Vaishnava. But at the same time, it is a festival because that's the success of that Vaishnava. After rendering devotional service, living a life dedicated to the service of the Supreme Lord, finally the devotee is united with the Lord in the spiritual world. So now living in the association of the Lord. So that is the success. And also, um, so it is a celebration. When a Vaishnava departs, it's not like a materialistic person, right? Who departs, then you lament for that person. Hmm? Oh, four types of people. A sadhu gives blessings to four types of people. For a prince, he says, Rajaputra Chiranjiva, you live for a long time. Why? Because the prince is a materialistic person. He is absorbed in sense gratification, living a lavish life. So what is the result of that life? He will have to suffer in the next life. So you Chiranjiva, you live for a long time. So when a materialistic person dies, you lament because, oh, now, all his enjoyment is over. Now he has to suffer. But uh, Muniputra, Muniputra who is living a life of austerity under the guidance of a guru, right? For him, uh, yeah, after he dies, he'll make further progress. He'll go to higher realms. So it's better. Why you have to live such a life of, severe, strict austerity? You die and then you go to higher realms, right? So you don't have to live the life of austerity. Maybe you get liberation also, or like that. Certainly you'll get a better life because you're not living the life like a prince, right? A materialistic person. You're abstaining from sense gratification. Of course, it's difficult to abstain, and control your senses, austerities. But so therefore, you should end this life and you can live, you know, eternal life. You'll be relieved from this type of austerity. Muniputra. And Rajaputra, Muniputra, uh, what do you call butcher, right? Butcher, you don't live and you don't die because the life that you're living now is hellish, and after you die, you're going to go to hell, right? So for such a person, we don't know. We should lament for when such a person dies. Should you lament for that person? What should we feel? We don't know, because while he's living also, he's living a miserable life, and after death also, he's going to suffer. But sadhu, sadhava, jivova, marova, it does not matter, sadhu, whether you live or you die, it's the same thing. Because when you're living, you're in Krishna consciousness, you're glorifying Krishna. And when anyone who is in Krishna consciousness, he is untouched by material energy. So there's no question of suffering in the material world for him. So he's living, it's glorious because while living, he's spreading Krishna consciousness. And then when he leaves this world, then also it is glorious because after he leaves this world, he'll continue the same thing. It's not like he'll go and do something else. Oh, now I have worked so hard, now I'll go and relax and sleep. That's material conception. Liberation means, finished all this, now I can go and just relax. No, Vaishnava is never like that. Whether in this world or that world or any world, his activity is the same. He's always glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, whether you live or you die, it's the same thing. It does not matter. You're always in the spiritual world. Whether you go to Golok Vrindavan Dham or you're in this world, you're always in Golok Vrindavan Dham. In your consciousness, in your devotional service, in your commitment, you're always in Krishna consciousness. So for a Vaishnava, it does not matter. So therefore, when a Vaishnava leaves his body also, it is a festival. Mahotsava, it's a big festival. The disappearance day of Srila Prabhupada. But it's a bittersweet experience because of our separation, right? Especially those devotees who got the personal association of Srila Prabhupada, they feel great separation from Srila Prabhupada. They remember the day when Prabhupada left. What was what were the circumstances, and what were the feelings that they had. So this day reminds them of that sadness they experienced, that loss that they felt on that day when Srila Prabhupada left. But again, from a spiritual perspective, Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport that the spiritual master is never separated from the disciple. He's never separated as long as the disciple follows the instruction of the spiritual master. So as long as we are carrying out the orders of the spiritual master is always there with the disciple. There is no question of separation. Physical separation, physical association is not guaranteed. It is certain that it's going to go away. But the association through his instructions, that is eternal. You can always get his association by sticking to his instruction. So those who got that physical association, of course, they feel that separation. But what sustains a devotee is holding on to the instructions of the spiritual master. So Haridas Thakur's disappearance is called a Mahotsava, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself personally celebrated that festival. Haridas Thakur disappeared in front of Mahaprabhu's eyes, and Mahaprabhu personally celebrated that. He took the body of Haridas Thakur and danced. So, of course, the details of that pastime we will read again. But in Antyalila, we see the disappearance of Haridas Thakur. Then we also see how the Lord punished Chota Haridas. And also we see how Damodar Pandit would chastise Mahaprabhu that what you're doing is not correct. You should not behave like this. You should behave like this. Although he's a servant of Mahaprabhu, but still he would instruct him. This is not right, like that. Out of his concern, but still there is some etiquette, right, when you deal with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Srila Prabhupada makes a comment there that he should not have done like that. So let's continue reading. So again, this is just a synopsis of what all pastimes are going to come in this Antyalila. And also Sanatan Goswami will visit Mahaprabhu, and we saw how Mahaprabhu tests Sanatan Goswami because he gets, I gave you a brief explanation of how he got boils all over his body, and he was contemplating ending his life, and Mahaprabhu actually taught him a lesson there and removed all the boils from his body and gave him an instruction to go to Vrindavan, like that. So what else did we read yesterday? Yeah, being pleased, the Lord sent Sanatan Goswami back to Vrindavan. After that, he was fed wonderfully by the hands of Advaita Acharya. Yeah. Yeah, so we read all this. Now, next verse. So, Sanatan Goswami came and he was sent back. And then Mahaprabhu took sumptuous prasadam in Advaita Acharya's home. After that, text 262. Nityananda Sange Yukti Koriya Nibhrite Tare Pathaila Gaude Prema Pracharite. So after, if you remember, we read in the beginning of this Madhya Leela how Mahaprabhu would send different devotees to different places for preaching. After the first 6 years of his traveling, now he stayed in Puri. Himself, he stayed in Jagannath Puri, but he would send devotees to different parts to preach. Although he personally didn't go, but he would inspire them. They would all come to him, the leaders. He would inspire them and he would send them. Like Srila Prabhupada sent his disciples also all over the world, isn't it? He sent the first 6 disciples or the first 6 devotees to London to preach, to start the Krishna consciousness movement in London, like that. And he sent some devotees to Canada, right? Like all over. And in India, he would just drop off devotees. They would be traveling in trains and he would just drop off one devotee or a couple devotees. You get down here, you start a center here. And they would get down in a railway, on a railway station, and they didn't know anything, no contacts, nothing. This was to start the Krishna consciousness movement there. And the train would go off and Srila Prabhupada would go. And amazingly, by the mercy of Mahaprabhu and by the faith of the disciple in the order of the spiritual master, today in those places we see big temples, established devotee communities like that. So Mahaprabhu also would stay. Of course, this is Mahaprabhu's movement only. We saw the Chaitanya tree, how the tree is spreading. So ISKCON is also a branch, a sub branch, or a branch, a big branch coming from the Chaitanya tree. So this is the principle. Mahaprabhu would send his various devotees to different parts of the world to start the Krishna consciousness movement. So we saw how he sent Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami. Now here we are seeing Nityananda Sangye Yukti Korea Nibrite in privacy. So Mahaprabhu made a plan with Nityananda Prabhu in private. Tare Patha Ila Gaude Prema Pracharite, and he sent Nityananda Prabhu to Gaudadesh, that means to Bengal, to spread Krishna Prema. After sending Sanatan Goswami back to Vrindavan, the Lord privately consulted with Sri Nityananda Prabhu. He then sent him to Bengal to preach love of Godhead. And Nityananda Prabhu had never preached Krishna consciousness before. He would not preach. He would just give his association and all that. Of course, when Mahaprabhu told Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur to go door to door and tell them, please chant, he would do that. That's all. Whatever Mahaprabhu said, he would do that. Now, Mahaprabhu sent him. Now you go and spread, give love of Godhead to everyone. Then Nityananda Prabhu begins to preach extensively. So Mahaprabhu sent Nityananda Prabhu to Gaudadesh. तबेत वल्लभ भट्ट प्रभु रे मिलिला कृष्ण नामेरा अर्थ प्रभु ताहारे कोहिला. Then soon afterward Vallabha Bhatta met the Lord at Jagannath Puri, and the Lord explained to him the import of the holy name of Krishna. So what else happened in Antya Leela? After Mahaprabhu sent Nityananda Prabhu to Bengal, one devotee named Vallabha Bhatta came to Jagannath Puri to meet with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu explained to him the import of the holy name of Krishna. Who is this Vallabha Bhatta? Purport. Vallabha Bhatta is the head of the Vaishnava Sampradaya known as the Vallabhacharya Sampradaya in Western India. So Vallabha Bhatta is the same Vallabhacharya. He is the head of the Vaishnava Sampradaya known as the Vallabhacharya Sampradaya in Western India. There is a long story about Vallabhacharya narrated in the Caitanya Charitamrita, specifically in the 7th chapter of the Antya Leela and the 19th chapter of the Madhya Leela. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited the house of Vallabhacharya on the other side of Prayag, where Mahaprabhu met Rupa Goswami, Allahabad. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited the house of Vallabhacharya on the other side of Prayag, in a place known as Adaila Gram. Later, Vallabha Bhatta saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Jagannath Puri. That comes in Antya Leela. So in Madhya Leela, we will see how Mahaprabhu meets Vallabhacharya in a village called Adaila Gram, on the other side of Prayag. And again in Antya Leela, that same Vallabha Bhatta comes and meets Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri to explain his commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam. So Vallabhacharya had written a commentary. So he wanted to explain that. He was very proud of his writings, but Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu corrected him, telling him that a Vaishnava should be humble and follow in the footsteps of his predecessors. The Lord told him that his pride in being superior to Sridhar Swami was not at all befitting a Vaishnava. So Vallabhacharya wrote a commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam and he wanted to get Mahaprabhu's approval. Like, yes, this is bona fide and it is good. Children also do that, don't they? They do something and they want to get your endorsement. They want you to say, oh, so nice, you did such a good job. So Vallabhacharya went with his commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to show him. I mean, first of all, Mahaprabhu wouldn't even look at it. Why? Because Mahaprabhu, see, the spiritual master, Mahaprabhu is the supreme spiritual master, the supreme Lord. And as a representative of the Supreme Lord, even the spiritual master acts like that, the same mood. They give us what we need, not what we want, right? So they see the deeper disease underneath, not just the superficial thing what we are trying to show, externally what we are trying to present. They don't see just that. They see the deeper cause for the external, and they treat that disease. Like when you have a boil, uh, the boil is just the external symptom. Actually, deep inside, there is infection in the blood. So if you treat the blood, if you purify the blood, then the external symptoms will go away. So the spiritual master treats, purifies the blood, so to speak. So when Vallabhacharya came with his commentary, he felt, or maybe he even said, that his commentary was better than the commentary written by Sridhar Swami. Who is Sridhar Swami? Sridhar Swami is the original commentator on Srimad Bhagavatam. First of all, we have the commentary. Well, Srimad Bhagavatam itself is the natural commentary on Vedanta Sutra by Vyasdev. And then the original commentator on Srimad Bhagavatam is Sridhar Swami. And after Sridhar Swami, many others also wrote their commentaries in the lines, right? Not that, not in a challenging mood of mine is better than yours, not like that. Always, like we see Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, when he writes Caitanya Charitamrita, this is Chaitanya Leela. Previous to him, Vrindavan Das Thakur had already written Chaitanya Leela as Chaitanya Bhagavat. Do you ever see him competing or saying, trying to present that his work is better than the predecessors? No, that's not the mood of a Vaishnava. Rather, he wants to glorify the predecessor Acharya, and he will only try to, wherever it is not elaborated, he would try to elaborate, but always the focus is the Lord's glories, and also with great humility, he submits himself at the lotus feet of the predecessor Acharya. But unfortunately, Vallabhacharya's mood was not like that. His mood was like, I did a better work, right? Externally, sometimes it may seem like that, right? The disciple is doing better than the spiritual master. He's more qualified, maybe in terms of Sanskrit or this or that, right? But if a disciple becomes proud, thinking that my work is more, you know, uh, uh, advanced, right, than the previous predecessor's work, you find some faults and mistakes in the previous acharya's works, and you feel, or you think that I am actually giving a better work than the previous predecessor acharya, that's not appreciated by Mahaprabhu. So Mahaprabhu would not see his commentary like that. And anyway, let's read. So that episode will come. We will go into details when we read that. So later, yeah. Later, Vallabhacharya saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Jagannath Puri to explain his commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam. He was very proud of his writings, but Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu corrected him, telling that a Vaishnava should be humble and follow in the footsteps of his predecessor Acharyas. The Lord told him that his pride in being superior to Sridhar Swami was not at all befitting a Vaishnava. So in this way, Mahaprabhu teaches a lesson. प्रद्युम्न मिश्रे रे प्रभु रामानंद स्थाने कृष्ण कथा सुनाइला कोही तारक गुणे. After explaining the transcendental qualities of Ramananda Rai, the Lord sent Pradyumna Mishra to his residence, and Pradyumna Mishra learned Krishna Katha from him. Another pastime. Pradyumna Mishra wanted to hear the higher topics of bhakti, right? Like Krishna Katha from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Again, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching a lesson here. Mahaprabhu said, even though I am a sannyasi, right? Externally, I'm renounced. Externally means I'm renounced. A sannyasi is renounced from this world. I don't talk with women. I don't talk with, associate with wealth or the opposite sex. But still, even if I saw a wooden doll, a wooden form of a woman, my mind would get agitated. Whereas Ramananda Rai, what was Ramananda Rai's service? His service was to, uh, who was Ramananda Rai? Ramananda Rai is Vishakha, Sakhi in the spiritual world. So her service is to prepare devotees to perform and dance in front of Radha Krishna for their pleasure. So training them about how to dance, how to make the expressions, and also preparing their bodies, right? Like massaging their bodies, bathing them nicely, doing nice decorations, flower arrangements, clothes, everything, and then teaching them how to perform, all for the pleasure of Lord Jagannath here. So Ramananda Rai would do that service. So he would train these young girls. And Mahaprabhu said, only Ramananda Rai could remain undisturbed, even though he's dealing so intimately with young girls. Nobody else should imitate Ramananda Rai, because they will not be able to sustain their devotional service if they acted like that. In other words, Mahaprabhu was saying this is the exalted position of Ramananda Rai. So he is the best person who can explain the topics of higher topics of bhakti to you. You go and learn from him, like that. So Mahaprabhu taught that lesson. So when first Mahaprabhu said you go and learn from Ramananda Rai, because Mahaprabhu said, so he went. And when he went there, he saw that Ramananda Rai made him wait. He was busy with, getting the girls ready for the performance and all that. So Pradyumna Mishra was thinking, why did Mahaprabhu send me here, right? And then Ramananda Rai could not even talk to him. And then he had to go back after waiting all day or several hours. He had to go back. Then he came back to Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu said, so did you talk to Ramananda Rai? Did he explain? Did he answer your questions? He said, no, like this. So he said, no, you should go back. And then when Mahaprabhu explained, then again Pradyumna Mishra, this time he went with a proper mindset. And yes, he had a talk with Ramananda Rai, who explained to him. So that episode will also come in the Antilila. After explaining the transcendental qualities of Ramananda Rai, the Lord sent Pradyumna Mishra to his residence, and Pradyumna Mishra learned Krishna Katha from him. गोपीनाथ पट्टनायक रामानंद भ्राता राजा मारिते छिला प्रभु हैलत्राता. So another pastime that we will see in Antilila is Ramananda Rai. There were 5 brothers. So Ramananda Rai, so there is Gopinath Pattanayaka, then there is Vaninath, Ramananda Rai, like this. So his brother, Ramananda Rai's brother, Gopinath Pattanayaka, was the tax collector. His service to the king was he was acting as a tax collector. So he would collect taxes on behalf of the king, and he was supposed to deposit them in the treasury. But apparently, he kept some of it for his personal use, and he deposited the rest in the treasury. So this was found out. And not only was it found out, but there was there was like a plot to put him in trouble. So what do you say? Like politics, right? So one Muslim uh, officer, uh, he something like he wanted to employ his own person, like nephew or someone, in that post. So for that you have to remove this person from power. So in order to remove, you have to find some fault. So he started looking, and he found out that he was actually taking some tax money. So then he brought this to the notice of the king, and actually not the king, the prince, right? it was brought to the notice of the king, and the king said, I don't want to deal with all these things. You take care of it, right? Whatever is the prescribed punishment, just do that. Do whatever is needed, like that. So the prince announced that Gopinath Pattanayaka, actually there's a longer story to this. Actually, what exactly happened was, uh, anyway, we'll read the details when it comes. But it's not exactly about the post. It was about, there were this person had brought one person had brought so many horses, uh, you know, special horses, and he was selling those horses to Gopinath Pattanayaka, and at a very very high price, like more than what it deserved. And Gopinath Pattanayaka, anyway, let's just wait here because I'm forgetting the finer details of the story now. When it comes, we will read. Okay, I won't give you incomplete or unclear information now. But this episode also will come. So what happened here is Gopinath. So the outcome of this whole thing was Gopinath Pattanayaka becomes arrested. He's arrested and he's awarded the punishment of awarded capital punishment. That means he should be executed. He'll be killed. The king was not aware of this, and all the devotees were in great anxiety. Now Gopinath Pattanayaka is in the prison, and soon he would be executed. So all the devotees were going to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to his place in Gambhira, and they were saying, my Lord, please do something, please do something. They're going to kill Gopinath Pattanayaka. He's your devotee. He's Ramananda Rai's brother, like that. And then Mahaprabhu said, like, he was very grave. He said that then why should he take the money of the government, right? Anyone who does that, then he has to deal with the punishment, like that. And they were all worried. And then they would just come back with, whatever. Oh, now they already brought him to the Changa. Changa is the place where they, the high platform where they actually execute. So they brought him there, they raised him there, and like that. And Mahaprabhu said, if you come back, you pray to Lord Jagannath. You go and pray to Lord Jagannath, only Jagannath will help him. Like that. And uh, and if you keep disturbing me like this, I won't even stay in Jagannath Puri. I'm leaving this place. I'll go to Alalanath. I won't even be here. I'm a sannyasi. You want me to go and beg to the king to release this person who has stolen money? What do you expect from me? Like that. But anyway, Gopinath Pattanayaka gets released because the king, he gets this information just at the time, just before he was executed. The king gets news that Gopinath is going to be hanged. He said, what? Gopinath is going to be hanged? I never gave that order. And then immediately he stopped that. And then also he forgave, whatever money that he had uh, taken. And also he, gave him a silk turban and doubled his salary and this and that, like that. So he just, he was also apologetic. The king was apologetic because this is a devotee of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he's going to, he was saved. The king was saved from making a big mistake. So that episode, that pastime will come in Antilila. After this, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saved Gopinath Pattanayaka, the younger brother of Ramananda Rai, from being condemned to death by the king. रामचंद्र पुरी भय भिक्षा घटाइला वैष्णवेर दुख देखी अर्धे का राखिला. Ramchandra Puri criticized Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's eating. So this is another wonderful pastime. Ramchandra Puri is okay, I'll just read the translation. Ramchandra Puri criticized Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's eating. Therefore, the Lord reduced his eating to a minimum. However, when all the Vaishnavas became very sorry, the Lord increased his portion to half as much as usual. So Ramchandra Puri is also a disciple of Madhavendra Puri. You must have heard this pastime and also even seen the puppet shows. I don't know. But Ramchandra Puri is a disciple of Madhavendra Puri. We know that Ishwara Puri a disciple of Madhavendra Puri, how he pleased his guru Madhavendra Puri when he was in his final days of earthly pastimes. And as a result, he was blessed. Ishwar Puri was blessed by Madhavendra Puri. So much so, he pleased his spiritual master so much that the Supreme Lord became pleased to accept him as his spiritual master. Now, you will see the other contrast to this is Ramachandra Puri was also a disciple of Madhavendra Puri. He also, at the time of his spiritual master's leaving the body, he displeased his spiritual master so badly. Just the opposite. He displeased the spiritual master so badly that because of that, he became a great offender of Vaishnavas. So you see, you displease the spiritual master, disobey the spiritual master, that is an offense to the holy name. And as a result of offense, you end up making more offenses. And he was not finding fault, he would find fault with all Vaishnavas. He would simply see any devotee and he would just keep finding, oh, the followers, the devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are such sense gratifiers. For no reason. He went to Mahaprabhu's room and he saw there were some ants on the ground and he said, ants. That means you're eating sweets in secret. You're stashing sweets here and there. That's why ants are coming here. You are a sannyasi, but you're not supposed to eat sweets, but you're eating sweets, like that. And then he would see when Mahaprabhu would go to a feast, right? Devotees would be serving him, and he would see nice prasadam served to Mahaprabhu. My God, being a sannyasi, you're eating so much. You shouldn't be eating all these rich foods and such in such large quantities, like that. He would criticize. But he himself, he, when devotees would serve him, he would be like, hmm. And also, he would eat, and after eating, he would force that the devotee who is serving, they should eat. And they were like, no, no, we are full, we don't want. He would force them to eat. He would put more and more and more prasad. And then, when prasad is on the plate, you're not supposed to throw it. So somehow or other they would eat. And he would give seconds, thirds, fourths, fifths, and he would force them. He would invite them and he would say, you should eat prasad. And after they finished eating, then he would say, see the quality of these devotees of Mahaprabhu? They overeat. First he would force them and then he would criticize them. So how he became like this, such a person who criticizes the devotees, criticizes even Mahaprabhu himself, how he became like that? Because of displeasing the spiritual master, he became like that. And then not only that, now as a result of these offenses, as a result of criticizing Mahaprabhu, and criticizing Mahaprabhu also, okay, but because he criticized Mahaprabhu, and what was Mahaprabhu's response? Now that's another lesson. When somebody criticizes you, it was obvious to the devotees. Mahaprabhu didn't, he was so strict, but because this is his guru's god brother, Ramchandra Puri, he is telling him that means this is an instruction coming from my authority. Guru's god brother is exactly like Guru. And if he's giving me something, giving me some instruction, I must follow. So he's saying I should not eat, I'm eating too much. So immediately Mahaprabhu told the devotees, now don't give me so much food. I will only eat boiled vegetable. And he reduced the quantity of rice he would eat also. He reduced it to very small quantity. So then uh, uh, the devotees are so, it was like death to them. They couldn't bear to see day after day after day Mahaprabhu hardly eating anything, and they would be glaring at Ramachandra Puri that because of you, right, Mahaprabhu. And they would be thinking, when will this Ramachandra Puri leave here, like that. But Mahaprabhu followed that system. He just ate little, he reduced the quantity of food because Ramachandra Puri said this, so he would follow that uh, uh, instruction that it's coming from a superior authority. But by doing this, Ramachandra Puri, now he also became implicated in another offense of displeasing all the devotees. He was criticizing them, he was criticizing the Lord, but because the Lord reduced his quantity of food, now Ramachandra Puri was also implicated in the offense of displeasing all the Vaishnavas. As a result of carrying all this burden of offenses, you know what happened to him? He became a ghost. He became a ghost, like a Brahma Rakshasa. And after becoming a ghost, you know what he would do? He would go and haunt the offenders of Vaishnavas. Anyone who offended Vaishnavas, he would go and he would haunt them. That's what happened to Ramchandrapuri. So this episode also will come in Antil Leela. Mataji, Aditi Lata Mataji, you raised your hand.
Mataji, we were just asking who that person was. We found out now. Who you were talking about.
Ramchandrapuri. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I think we will end here. We went way over time. But like this, all these pastimes will come in the Antya Leela. We will be reading them in detail. This is just a synopsis. Just one more I'll read. Brahmanda bhitare hoy chaudda bhuvana, chaudda bhuvane vaise jata jiva gana. There are 14 planetary systems within the universe, and all living entities reside in those planetary systems. So we are starting a new thing here, so we will just stop here. Now, in order to find out what is being said, we'll have to read a few more verses. So we'll read it tomorrow. Thank you all so much.
What
Mataji.
time you are starting, Mataji?
Supposed to
6 to
start at
6:30?
3:40, 6:15. It was supposed to start at 6:15, but today I came a little late. I came about
You're ending
6:30.
already, no? 6:15 already ending. 6:17.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
It's only
Krishna.
6:18
Thank you,
now.
Mataji. Hare Krishna.
No, Mataji. Actually, this happened. Now you have this daylight savings has started.
Yeah.
So your time has changed 1 hour. It's not 6
Yeah,
now.
after
It is.
changing on 6:18 now. Ask anybody?
Yes,
Arunika?
yes. Now, Mataji is doing at our time 5:15.
Oh, 5:15. Now daylight time, na? Time changed, Mataji. Sorry. Yeah. That
I was also noticing. Oh,
No,
how come you're
5:50,
finishing
no?
it?
She does
5:15.
5:50?
Yes, yes.
5:15.
5:15.
Ah.
I sat here 6 o'clock. You said already you are ending the class. Oh God, what is happening here?
So
I
you
don't know,
went
I'm
back.
getting confused. I need to have calendar.
You went back one hour now. For the next 4 months, it will be 5:15 to 5:15 to
Arundhati
5:45.
Mataji. No. What's your name? What's the initiated name?
Achitapriya.
Achitapriya Mataji. Please
Solun
call me
Mataji.
when class started. Class.
Okay, sure.
Okay. I
Thank
don't
you.
know.
Hare Krishna.
As soon as I turned on, it says, I'm sorry, class is ending. I said, what is this happening for me? Or I always, sometimes I don't come. And when I come, whether you come late or whether class is not there, whether the class is over. What's my luck?
5:15, Mataji. 5:15.
5:15.
But I send a reminder. I think you didn't check in the phone. I send whenever I start the class. I send a reminder.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I will see.
Yeah.
Now I know.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna
Mataji.
Mataji.